Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Not for Broadcast. I promised that this week we would do predictions and fantasy, Avery. So we are going to do that. We're going to do it very quickly, which means first we're going to roll through some of the TI drama that has happened. Both you and I are have some insider information, so we probably can't talk too much about it. But the TLDR is Quincy Crew or whatever the hell their name is. Well, I mean, they're not Gaimin Gladiators probably by the end of this season. They're probably not staying with that organization. There was some drama that happened with the team Gaimin Gladiators and the organization Gaimin Gladiators. And the result is that Gaimin Gladiators is no longer going to TI. The organization claims that the team didn't want to play with Gaimin Gladiators. The team claims that they were fine with playing with Gaimin Gladiators. The result is neither one apparently wants to go to TI or whatever. So that's not happening. They're going to be out. They're not going to be a part of our fantasy or our predictions, as is Whitemon. Whitemon was also unable to attend TI because he had his visa revoked, very likely due to some of the Indonesian political riots going on right now. So very unfortunate for him. It means Tundra are going to have a stand-in that is going to be Toby. And that's it. I think that's it. BFJ is also not going to TI, but that's a yearly thing. So did I miss anything, Avery?
No.
Okay. Anything you want to say on those topics?
Rest in pieces, brothers. What a shame. Always a shame. But I don't know. Kind of sad. I was looking forward to seeing the Whitemon Soxa duo with their full roster, but it just is not meant to be. The Tundra organization will never have all 5 players at TI, it seems again. They are cursed.
They did not have victory. 9 class last year, which they had a stand-in in Soxa. We'll see how Toby stands. I mean, Toby stand-in for Liquid at this last Fisher event or whatever went very well. So
yeah, but that was just a clear upgrade on paper. So it's like that's a very different scenario.
Okay.
This is a tough stand-in. I think that team was struggling a little bit compared to the first half of the year, but they're clutch players. I think they would have done extremely well at TI. I think they still have a solid chance. 33 can always lead you to like a top 3, but I think it is a big blow. That guy performed extremely well last TI, and I think he's very hungry for it. And there's not a lot of C players that get big opportunities on these Western/European teams. So big shame. I'm disappointed. I love watching that guy play. I think he was the best 5 of the season.
Yeah, big blow to them, and will probably result in lower rankings in our predictions. Certainly not having Tundra winning TI. Still agree with you that they could place very well. But Gaimin Gladiators also being out, but they are replaced, Avery, by Yakult Brothers. I know you're
That's
happy
some
about
good
that.
shit, right? I mean, it's not good. I feel for Quinn. That whole situation is fucked. I'm not going to go into details on it, but yeah, that's a fuck situation. And it's a shame that Quinn could retire out of this instead of getting one more chance to try and win it after he got second twice. That's a rough way to go out for my boy. And I think that team was better than people gave him credit for. Like, they were starting to figure some stuff out. Obviously, not the greatest season for them, but they were still a good team. And I think their expected placement was top 8. Yes. And that's still a lot to play for. You have a good run. We've seen them do it before. You can get a top 2, top 3. Maybe you win it. Other teams crumble. But we will never know. Instead, we get Yakult Bros, which, I mean, I'm happy about because I'm a huge fan of that team. They're one of my favorite teams to watch. Maybe my favorite team. I don't know if they're going to do that well. I think this kind of got sprung on them. So,
yes,
who knows? I also think they tend to sometimes just choke in throw games or whatever you want to classify it as. So, I don't have super high expectations for them, but I sure as hell love watching them play. So that was a good choice.
Okay, so with that, we will go into we'll do predictions first. So you want to work your way from the bottom to top or top to bottom?
I don't care, man.
Okay,
Bottom,
I
top,
will
whatever.
go and I will start with. I'll go start with the top. I have Team Falcons being the team going 4-0 in groups. Now, to be clear, these predictions are for the groups, not for the overall results. And that is why I have Falcons doing the best out of the group stage, because they're usually a team that, for one, I think they're usually pretty solid when they're solid. They're also doing rather well right now. They have been continued their run since EWC, which is a very good showing for them, beating Team Spirit in the Fisher Grand Finals. Big boost, even if they had a stand-in in Laurel. There's also a question mark of like how much Team Spirit is going to be able to practice leading up to this TI, due to not having Laurel around due to his surgery complications, whatever is going on there. All I know is that they haven't been able to practice that much. So that is going to set them, I think, a little bit on the back foot when it comes to starting this group stage. Still think if they have Laurel and his health is good, and I still think they are a contender to win the entire thing. They are probably the most favored contender, but probably drop a game or two in the group stage, and that kind of fits Team Spirit as well, right?
I don't know, man. I put them undefeated here. I think they're going to clean house. I say it every year, and eventually I will be correct. I don't even care if I'm wrong. I'm just going to put them there to dunk on the haters, because fuck all these other loser ass teams. They're going to, except Yakult Bros. Spirit and Yakult Bros all the way. Top two. That would be a wild grand final, you have to admit. That would be the most entertaining grand final in the history of Dota. So that's why I'm rooting for that. So I'm going to put them undefeated because I think they're the best team here. Honestly, I just ranked these predictions by the strength of team, because I think every year I try and like, oh, this team I think is better or whatever, and it never ends up mattering. I think strength of team generally wins out, and there's going to be some upsets, and you're never going to be able to predict those anyway. I also generally ranked Western Europe a little higher than their recent performances because they do have home turf advantage, and that does count for a decent amount. People always underestimate that. It counts for a decent amount. Less jet lag, less travel. You get to boot camp in the same region.
Okay.
And I also think Eastern Europe has similar, equal or similar advantage in that respect. So, and those teams have been best performers all year. So I have no reason to think that a lot of the Eastern and Western European teams are going to get outclassed in a group stage by a lot of these other regions, except maybe some of the Chinese teams. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, for the 4-1, there are two teams that are going to be 4-1 at the end of this Swiss group stage. I forgot to say it is a Swiss group stage. So the result of this is going to be there are two teams that end up eliminated. There are three teams that will make it direct to playoffs. So it's the teams that go 4-0 and the two teams that go 4-1. And I had Tundra in my 4-1, no longer going to be the case. I'm going to put Liquid there and demote Tundra to elimination round winner. But it'll be Liquid and Spirit as my two teams that are 4-1.
Well, I had Liquid Falcons, so our top three is shared.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I think Liquid has a more likely chance to go 4-1 than some of these teams. But honestly, I'm like, that one's pretty iffy, dude. I have a hard time not believing it'll be another CIS team. But I don't think.
But who's it going to
P-Vision,
be?
I don't think P-Vision is that
Boom?
scary. And I kind of believe in BB, but I don't think they're. I think they're also a little inconsistent. I mean, it really depends on the draw, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of matchups that are very good for some teams, very bad for others. It was like that Gaimin BB team, right? They'd never beaten them once. Like, there's like some stupid matchups like that. I think Liquid has it's like the Liquid P-Vision, right? Like P-Vision could go 4-1, but if they play Liquid and get stomped for the 10th time in a row, they're already like kind of on the back foot. There's like a lot of these weird matchups. So honestly, it's kind of hard to predict because the draw is pretty decisive. But I think it will be between, it's like Falcons, Liquid, BB, P-Vision, Tidebound, and then Tundra's a wild card. They have a stand-in. I don't know. I put them in there too, but I think it's just matchup dependent. I mean, spin the fucking wheel, man. But I did take Liquid Falcons because I think Liquid has better matchups on average. Like, I think they're favored versus P-Vision heavily. I think they're favored versus BB team. I think they are favored a little versus Tundra, honestly. And their favor, I mean, the Falcons one is probably not favorable for them if Falcons are in absolute peak form, but so I don't know. Yeah, I think Liquid's most likely, but I mean, flip a coin, man. I don't fucking know.
Yes, I think that Swiss makes the draws are much worse. Like round robin group stages or whatever we did in previous years. That I think has less variance. Swiss, I think higher amount of variance. Where the RNG of who you match up against is much more brutal.
Yeah, I mean,
The
round
finish,
one, Liquid plays Yakult Bros. Emo's just gonna fucking shit on Nisha, and then they're already at an 0-1. Like, yeah, I can't. How do we know if that's gonna be the case? It's just random luck. Like somebody's gonna have to play Emo round one, and they're just gonna get fucking shit on. And I'm not even saying Yakult's gonna do that good in the group stage, but whoever they play first, they're gonna take a massive fucking dump on that guy because that's what this team does. They shit on the first opponent, and then they get cocky, and then they play like ass, and then they have to recover. Classic fucking Baboka effect. So, yeah, you don't want to play this team first, so someone's going to have a bad day.
All right, the finishing out the top 8, the 5 teams that will end up being winners of the elimination round. For me, it is P-Vision, Tundra, BB Team, Tidebound, Navi.
Well, I have 4 of those 5, but not
Yeah,
Navi.
I figured Navi would be the wild card that, not wild card, but
I'm just going on strength this season. Like, yeah, Navi is a cool team. I enjoy watching it, but they're young. They're inexperienced. They have Zayats as a captain, but he's not the most experienced captain. Like, these things matter at TI. I put Aurora over them. I think
Okay.
Aurora is way more experienced, way more solid captainship, and was performing quite well. I think this team is still a bit of a sleeper team. Like, they're just good. They have good players. They have a
Not
two-time TI winner.
Enigma Galaxy?
Well, Enigma Galaxy, I think, still has a decent chance to win TI, but this is a very tough group stage. I think. I don't think they're favored in a lot of these matchups.
All right, so
they do well in group stages generally, though.
Yes, they do. My toss up was between. I mean, I switched this around so many times. But Navi, Aurora, Nigma, BB Team, for me are all kind of in that area where I could see them being 4-1. I could see them being losers at the end. Don't think they're teams that are going to get eliminated, but we'll see. We'll see how Navi performs. So our 7 out of our top 8 are all the same. It's just Aurora for Navi.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Okay, then let's start from the bottom from here because this is the interesting one. Who's going to go 0-4 for you, Avery?
I mean, there's only one NA team I can bet on. I'm sorry, boys, but like, if there's an NA team, they're going. It's not going to be pretty. Not that I don't have faith in these guys. They're good players. I'm going to root for them, but like, NA is NA, man. It's the weakest region. You have the least practice partners. Your scrims and pubs are the worst. You just have the biggest disadvantages. It's nothing personal. That's just how it is. But if it's any consolation, I did put the 2 C teams right next to you. So
okay, so our bottom 3 is the same. I had Nemesis as the team that will go 0-4, and then Wildcard and Boom as the 2 teams that go 1-4.
I mean, honestly, I could see Wildcard take a game or series off somebody. Like, I shouldn't say game. Like, I could see them take a series or games off people because they've done it before, right? It's not that this team is bad. It's just somebody has to be last year. I think it's the most likely that if they get a bad draw, they just get shit stomped. I mean, that's how it goes. I think the C teams are more unpredictable. Like, they have good players, but they're just complete wild cards. I would also say Nemesis is below Boom for sure.
Yes. I was trying to figure out if there was a way I could keep Boom in the tournament after the group stage, whatever, but no.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think for me it came down to, do I believe in them more than I believe in Heroic or Yakult Brothers? And
no
Yakult Brothers, we don't know what form they're going to show up in, but they have shown that they have a much higher ceiling than
Boom.
For
sure.
And I think Heroic also has a much higher ceiling. So,
I mean, basically, these are going to come down to these teams playing each other if this is what you think is happening. So it's like, do you think Nemesis or Boom are going to beat Heroic? Do you think Nemesis and Boom are going to beat Wildcard? Or do you think the reverse is true? And I just don't see. I think it's more likely that Boom and Nemesis win one of those series, but they don't win a lot more. Whereas I think Yakult and Heroic have a higher chance of winning at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Especially against those teams. Like, I would expect Yakult or Heroic to beat the NA/C teams on average. Navi as well.
All right. Well, that means so our 1 and 2 is swapped. Our 15 and 16 are swapped. And then we have one difference between the top 8 and the bottom 8. That's okay. So our predictions are pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, strength of teams. I will say Extreme Gaming is kind of the actual wild card for me. Like, this team could definitely sneak in a elimination round winner slot. They could display somebody. They have good players.
Yeah.
I always liked X Nova too. He's very stable, which is good for Ame. Ame wants a stable 5, so he can just do his stable game. But this team still has like strategic issues. I just don't know how they get past like XM's hero pool. It's just so fucking weird. I don't know. I never see them really adapting to the meta quickly or bringing like strategies to counter what other people are doing. It's kind of just them playing random stuff and trying to make their stuff work, and it seems to fall flat because it's just not that good for the meta. But their players are good. Also,
right,
Yakult Bros have the best logo of anybody at TI, just for the record.
Yes, Yakult Brothers. We're having the betting thing. We got to call them P-Vision. We got to call them PB Team, and now Yakult Brothers have changed their name / I don't know, sponsor.
That's gonna be so hard to fucking do.
So
doesn't he still own it though? Yakult?
Who knows? Who knows?
Whatever. They still have the best logo, dude. That's a banging ass logo. Look at that thing.
It is a pretty good logo.
Looks like me.
Anything left to say on predictions?
I expect Western and Eastern European dominance with Tiebound in there. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to fantasy. Unfortunately for me, I had Whitemon as my 5 position.
Dumbass.
Because You're
so stupid, Austin.
That guy's play is so good in the game.
That was a terrible choice for multiple reasons. One, you should have considered the visa issue. I actually considered this. I was only picking players.
Why
that I
would
knew
you consider the visa issue? You can change the player.
No,
it doesn't.
Number
matter.
2, I actually don't think Whitemon scores that high in fantasy.
Why?
Because he's not greedy enough.
Okay, but half the things that you get points off of supports are not those things.
Yeah, it's a little different this year.
Watchers so taken, wards placed, smokes used, etc., etc.
I don't know. I was like looking through all the stuff you can get for supports, and I just felt like he was not the most, like he was not going to score the highest on those. But obviously, I could be wrong. I usually do terrible on these. So what do I know?
Okay. I mean, ultimately, like fantasy, I don't think either one of us specializes in fantasy.
No, I'm not a fantasy nerd. I'm not going to go in here and be like, hey, you need to choose the Raven 13% with the X banners and do this. And I'm like, I don't really give a shit. I'm just going to pick dudes I think are going to do well.
Yeah, I haven't even re-rolled my emblems yet. So
okay, well, that's just
still
embarrassing.
You
got to re-roll emblems.
Anyway, my players are Collapse, Nisha, Maposhka.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I think, okay, so the biggest thing for me is I think Spirit is most likely team to win TI, right? Okay. Liquid, I think, is very likely to do very well at this TI. Maybe they win it, maybe they don't, but I think they're probably going to be making top 6, top 4. Okay. Nisha, I think that's just the mid to take for me, especially with whatever's going on with Laurel. I'm going to take 2 Spirit players, especially if I can't take Whitemon. So I take Maposhka as the other support. Rue is, I think, also acceptable, but it's probably going to depend on what emblems I end up with. If I end up with more like smokes used and wards placed, then maybe I take Maposhka. But I went for Collapse over Utoro because I think the patch is more centered towards offlane. And I think his performance at EWC Collapse has been really cooking the last couple of months. So I think he is more likely to get me more fantasy points than Yatoro in this patch.
A foolish mistake. A very foolish mistake. Always take the carry. Always take the carry in fantasy. That's what I've learned. Unless
Okay.
it's ATF, because that guy's.
I don't even know if that's a good suggestion, but go on.
Yeah, I don't. This fantasy is really different than past years, right? Like when I was going through it, because I feel like all the previous fantasies that have ever existed in Dota, at least for TI, were based on like fixed stat metrics, basically. Like, CS, damage, I don't know, whatever net worth, whatever bullshit, right?
Okay.
Tower damage.
They added some other random ones with the new mechanics in the
No,
game.
but what I'm saying
like
is it was
Watchers
always
taken and Madstone collected, but they're still CS.
right, but like they're weighted different.
Okay.
Before you basically had to, like before, for example, supports that scored the highest fantasy were always, it was like a lot of time it was a support who just warded and dewarded the most because it just gave you so many fucking points. And in this thing, like it'll tell you how many points you're getting, and some of these are weighted like very heavily, and some of them just don't seem worth it, even if they're doing very well because the weight's not there. And I don't know. I'm not gonna nerd it out. I didn't go in here with an Excel sheet and like do the math on all the expected value for these, but I think there's gonna be some weird outcomes because like you can get some games where like there's a tormentor kill one in here, right? What if some guy kills like 5 tormentors in a game, right? It's like a fuck ton of points.
Some carry is playing a lot of Ursa.
Right, exactly.
And he's just like every game he's taken like 2 or 3 tormentors. That's 850 points per tormentor.
There's no cap. Is there a cap? I don't know. I mean, there could be. Valve just doesn't say.
Some support like Bounty Hunter is meta. Some support is sniping couriers left and right. 850 per courier.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
Like that guy's just 6,000 points off of courier kills.
Exactly. So some of these are like really, the volatility on them is insane depending on where the meta goes. But I don't know. I still took Yatoro for my core because this guy is fucking consistent. You know, he is consistent. That's all I have to say.
You know, looking at that courier kill, I am beginning to rethink. Maybe I should take the forward position because forward positions are way more likely to snipe couriers.
No,
even
that
if
one's
it's not Bounty Hunter.
There's not that many courier kills in the game. To me, the banners that stood out value wise, I think the Tormentor one is value because I think if you pick a good player on a winning team, they're likely gonna participate in 2 to 3 Tormentors a game on average.
Yeah,
I mean maybe the average is like 1 to 2, right? But if they're a winning team, it'll be a little more. So 2 on average. I feel like that's easy points. I think I tried to reroll into the runes for my mid. I also took Nisha mid, and then I just went all in on getting a very high tier runes grabbed.
Okay.
Because this thing can give you like up to, I think, 150 max points per rune if you absolutely max it or something. Which just seems completely stupid because it's like like they're guaranteed to get some. And the upside of it's very high over a long game, right? Mids end up grabbing a lot of runes. You could easily get 2 or 3K off that. But you're always going to get something every game.
Is there a max for getting runes? Because the
only
things that I
see
max.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I was you said that something about maxing out, and I was wondering.
Well, like the points, because you're getting percentage multipliers on all these, right?
Right.
But I don't know. I
don't know. Looking at this, I feel like the Watchers taken is points. 4 positions are more likely to be moving around and picking those up.
I literally never rolled one of those, so I don't know what I was supposed to do. You kind of got to get what you get unless you are really min-maxing a stupid thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I took Yatoro.
Same goes with Lotuses, right? Offlane is more likely to have control of the Lotus pool.
Yes. So, I mean, I took the Lotus on my support.
Yeah.
I also got Camp stacked, which is very good for any Western European team.
And then, like, word smokes. I mean, half the time those are split between the 2 supports anyway. I just feel like 4 positions are going to be in a better position to rack up points.
I don't know. I took my boy snaking. I always believe in snaking. Okay. This man is a 4 in 5's shoes. He's masquerading as a 5. But this man, he win lane, he stack, he farm, he scale, he team fight, he do it all. He's beast. Man,
Okay.
don't care. So I'm personally biased.
All right, so we both took Nisha. You took Yotoro. I took Collapse, and then I took Maposhka. You took Snake King.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go.
You're all in on Spirit doing well. If they burn, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get the top percentile, for all the free goodies.
Bro, no one's gonna get that shit. It's gonna be some fucking nerd, like some guy with a math PhD.
Listen, if I can just get to the top 1,500, then that gets me 6 months of Dota Plus and two purple hats. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think your general goal is like if you can get 95th percentile, right? I think that's reasonable if you really try hard on this thing. Top 1,500 is ridiculous.
Hat, that's where it starts, right?
Yeah, top 1,500 is ridiculous. That's because it's that at that point it's luck based. Like you have to have lucked into the right players
right,
that had the right.
That's
run
why I
right
think
emblem.
I need to all in on something, and so all inning on
That's
Spirit
fair.
doing well is
all I know is every time I pick an offlaner because these guys are always beasts and I think they're gonna do well, they fucking fail me in fantasy every time. I'm like this offlaner is good.
Did you ever take Collapse?
Yeah, I have, and he never does anything. But obviously, different fantasies are different. Like his stats could be better for this. I'm sure if you get like some team fight participation and some fucking, I don't know, torment or kill or whatever, like maybe it doesn't even fucking matter who you take, right? Like that was another question. If I feel like a lot of these have overlap, like torment or kill, Roche kill, like Lotus ones, camp stacking, like those can apply to a lot of players, right?
Yeah.
So then at that point, you're kind of, I don't know, are you just taking like the teams you think are going to go the farthest? Yeah, maybe. That's what I did.
And then, the question is if you just end up taking the people who you think are going to go the farthest, but you're choosing the same teams that other people have taken, then at that point, you're just depending on your RNG of your emblems or whatever, at least for fantasy.
Yes.
So that's why you got to have a couple of wrinkles in there. And that's why Navi is going to come in clutch for me and get the top 8.
All right. I believe in that.
There we go. That's our predictions. That's our fantasy. Thank you for watching Not for Broadcast. And we will see you. Maybe I don't know. I'm pretty busy during TI, to be honest. So I don't know if we'll be able to record at TI. If not, we'll see you after TI. Goodbye.